Hey guys, I want to show you how to do the Osmosis Lab. So it's actually pretty basic, but it could be, there's some things you definitely need to know before we get started. So rough idea of what we're doing today is we need to get the initial mass of dry carrots. We need to make sure you know which molarities you're going to use for your experiment. There are 6 possible choices. I'm asking you as a group to choose 4 different molarities. And then with those molarities that are identified by the different colors of water over here, you're going to take approximately 2 baby carrots, and they should be about the same size. And with those 2 carrots, they will nicely fit in one of these muffin tins. Hey guys, I've tried to put some signage up here so that you can keep track of which group is doing which. I'll also try to put a thing on Google Classroom that lets you fill in a table. Anytime we do a lab, we want to record our data in Google Classroom or in some type of a Google Doc, so that can be shared with your group members. And if by chance somebody's not here the next day, all the other group members still have access to that. So let's get going with this. The first thing I'm going to do is get some carrots, and I want a dry weight. I'm going to try to choose 2 carrots that are about the same size so that they're almost the same mass. These guys look to be about the same size. Go and take a paper towel, and you want to go ahead and make sure that they're not wet on the surface. And you can see the paper towel is working. We are absorbing some of that water. So the more moisture you can get off the outside, the better it will be for our experiment. The next thing you need to do is make sure you mass your carrots. Never put anything directly onto the scale. Always put a piece of paper first. You'll see the mass change. Make sure you hit tare. It goes to 0, and then I can get the mass of my 2 carrots. Record that mass to the nearest tenth. Mine is 20.8. And then I'm going to take these, and if I'm going to be in period 4, I'm going to assume that I am in the row C, and I'm going to add my liquid. Now, guys, this is one thing I'm going to really ask, especially when I'm not here. If there are any spills, please clean it up right away with this. This is sugar water, and it can make a big mess. But when I add the liquid to these, I want to add just enough liquid to cover the carrots. That's all that I need. And if by chance they start floating to the surface, don't worry about it. But if you could see my carrots right now, we have them pretty much covered. So that was one molarity that I chose, my group chose. Now I'm going to do a second molarity. I'm going to stay in the same row. If you couldn't see, that one was labeled C. So we could think of that as C1. Again, I look for 2 similar sized carrots. And this time, I'm going to use these guys. Again, we want to make sure that we take all the moisture off the outside of the carrots, weigh them or mass them, set to 0 already. And these are quite a bit smaller. These are 8.29. So I'm going to take these. This time, I'm going to say they're in my muffin tin. I'm going to add just enough yellow solution to cover these. And there we go. So do that with 1, 2, 3, 4. Your group needs to decide or assign your group which row you're going to use. Is it A, B, C, or any of the other rows I have here? Make sure you stay inside of your period. And then the last thing I'm going to ask, I'm going to leave some saran wrap out. So before you leave class, so that this water doesn't evaporate, because we need to measure these the next day, please just wrap these with saran wrap. Even if you just set it on top, it's going to prevent some of that evaporation. When I see you on day 2, we're going to come back. We're going to take these out of the solutions. We're going to go ahead and dry them off again and get their final mass. And hopefully we're able to see a difference. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.